Hi, this is Bill. I've been working a lot on the Rocket lately, and I've been neglecting the America, and she's filthy. I rode her in the rain a couple times late in the season last year, and today I was just going to do some general cleaning on it, and I thought maybe I'd touch on some of the things that I've done to the America over the years, and also maybe go through some cleaning tips and just some general stuff that I do here. The first thing I would talk about is this one thing that people ask about a lot is lifts for the bike. The lift I have the bike on right here is called a Big Red. I got it at Menards. There's a lot of different versions on it. This lift is great for this bike. It fits right under the frame. You can lift it up. I'm about 15 inches off the ground, so for cleaning purposes I can get to the wheels, I can get to the tank and everything. We're going to strip the bike down here for a little bit. I want to do a deep cleaning on it today, so I'm taking the windscreen stuff off, I'm taking the saddlebags off. I want to take all the leathers off of it so I can condition all those. And I'll take you through some of the stuff and how I do that, and just some general tips today. We're going to go riding this afternoon, but this morning I just felt bad for the America sitting there, and I haven't really paid it much attention this spring because I've got so much done to the Rocket. That's where we're starting our day off at. Thanks. Okay, so if anybody's curious, these are bubble bags. They're an old school bag. I found a company in Pennsylvania that made them. My dad was a Triumph guy. He had a 1958 Tiger T110. He had these on his bike, so I kind of got them to pay homage to him. And they're a great bag for this bike. They're a little on the salty side, but you get what you pay for. So the mounting system on this, you pull the pin here, pull the pin underneath here, and you open the bag up. I love the system they have on the bag. It comes all the way off. Pull the pins inside. Throw them in the bag. Bag slides right off. Got a couple springs on here I'll take off in a second, but they usually use those just, give it some flexibility so they're not banging up against stuff. Had to buy some spacers for it to put on the brackets, but it's a great setup and it works really well. Okay, so I removed the bolts from both sides down here to take the brackets for the saddlebags off, which also releases the backrest and the luggage rack. Backrest is from a company called Tourist. I got it. My wife was in a really bad auto accident, and she didn't like the backrest that was on it, wanted more support, so I bought this. It's been a wonderful product. It's genuine leather, and it's just great craftsmanship, so I highly recommend it. That's all there is to that. Alright, the seat's a Mustang. I went on a long trip. I never liked the original seat. I know it rides okay for distance, but I like to sit in the saddle, not on the saddle, and I just love the setup on this. When I ordered it, I thought about whether to get the backrest or not. Decided if I was going to spend that much money on a seat, I at least wanted to have the option to use it. Absolutely love it. It's a great product. Same thing, wonderful craftsmanship, well made. Get that in a minute. Take off one bolt. The whole thing lifts right off. There you go. Okay, now I'm actually ready to get started on the cleaning. So, start at the top, work my way down. It's been in the rain a couple times. Everything's gritty. I got bugs all over it. She's in desperate need. Couple of tips. What do you clean your bike with? Well, I've made another spot of this. I use Pledge multi-purpose cleaner. No scents, nothing like that. That's not good for the bike, but I got onto this. I got the windscreen for the bike. I was looking at what the windscreen cleaners cost. They were all pretty expensive, so I have a friend that works in a plastics factory. I called him up and go, Jay, what do I use on my windscreen? And he told me Pledge without anything in it. Well, I went to the store, found this multi-purpose cleaner, sprayed the windscreen down, did a great job cleaning off the windscreen. I was real happy with that, but got it on the chrome, got it on the front fender. And as I was wiping it off, I'm like, that does a pretty good job. So I sprayed the whole bike down and did the whole bike with Pledge multi-purpose cleaner. I very rarely take a hose to my bike. Most of the time it's dust or bugs and stuff. don't really need to worry about that with hosing it down. So this is what I use. It's like $4 a bottle. It's inexpensive. Does a great job on, it's a cleaner, it's not a polish. So you still have to do the polishing when you're done, but you know, on chrome, on paint, on glass, on plexiglass, there's not a surface I found that this doesn't work well on. So that's what I use. The other thing I'll tell you is microfiber cloths. Have plenty of microfiber cloths. Don't be afraid to get them dirty, change them, throw them in the washer, they're fine. Usually do that when the wife's away. And the other thing that I do is, you go to any of your hardware stores, I've got a little round brush I can use, I got a little scrub brush I can use, they're all soft bristle, got my little wire brush and thing. This is actually a golf accessory for golf clubs, works great. Got a couple of these little brushes for getting into nooks and crannies, and that usually gets to all the little areas and everything. The other thing I like about the multi-purpose cleaner is it doesn't leave anything on the bike, so it leaves all the parts of it shiny. And when you start the bike up, it doesn't really hurt anything. So that's my point on that. I'll get back to it in a minute. Also, when you spray it on the bikes and stuff, give it a minute to soak in, and let the cleaners work. So that's my tip there. We're going to get started. Okay, so we're starting to get down into the engine. As I told you, I rotate my towels as I go through, especially on the chrome and the paint. And as they get grungy, I throw them off to the side. I use one for cleaning, one for polishing it up after I'm done. The ones that are real dirty out on the body, they're full of cleaner. They've got plenty of stuff on them. They're just too dirty to use on the paint. They're great for around the engine and on the frame. The other thing I tell you is this is one of my favorite tools. This is an acid brush, and it's made for soldering. So if you go to an electronics store, you should be able to buy these in like a package. They're real cheap. They're real fine bristle. They're real thin, and you can even smash it more if you want. But for getting into the nooks and crannies of the engine, it's like what I find is I just fill it up with a little bit of pledge, swirl it around in there a little bit, stick my dirty towel in there, it sucks all this stuff up, and then I can work out anything that's left over. The other thing is when you're working around the fins, it's like this will get right inside them all the way to the back of them, so you can get all the gunk out of there. The other thing I'd like to make sure that you're checking is check your hoses. This is a 2005. I bought it in 2015. This is a perfect time to see if you're getting weather cracking, if there's anything that needs to be replaced. Just look for general maintenance that needs to be done on the bike. So I'm working on the engine, and once a year I give it a deep cleaning. So I always take the cover off the sprocket. There's a beautiful 19-tooth sprocket. I'll get to the chain here in a little bit. You'll notice there's a lot of chrome on the bike. I was very fortunate. The gentleman I bought it off of, I bought it used in 2015, and the gentleman that I bought it off of really didn't put a lot of miles on it. He didn't put any real money into it either. So whoever bought the bike originally put the chrome covers on it. They just chromed the thing out, and it's just, I didn't realize how much of it was aftermarket when I first bought it until I started studying a little bit, and I was very fortunate. So with that, so I got the sprocket area all cleaned out in here. No, I did not use Pledge WD-40. Sprayed out everything, got the air compressor out, blew it all out. Working on getting the engine all cleaned up in here. It's what I know right now. So, moving down the bike, it's coming together. The only thing I can tell you right now is this is, unfortunately, there's two sides to it. So, this is one side. We'll get to the rest of it here in a minute. So, now I'm up to cleaning the chain, and I've already sprayed it down once. So, right here, there's a little gold silver dot. That is an earth magnet. You can get these at hardware store stuff. I think I got these at Harbor Freight. They're not real expensive, but lets me mark where I'm at on the chain as I'm moving it around. Like I said, I've already sprayed it down to soak it, and I know this is going to go against a lot of people's better judgment. I'm a WD-40 guy. So that chain brush, like I said, I already put some on the chain itself, so the chain really doesn't look that bad as far as being clean, but since it's the first one this year, I got the magnet on here. So we're just gonna put the brush on it and run it around. Here's the magnet. I know you probably can't see it, but it's just a dot on there. So I've gone around on the bottom. And I'm going to put it on here. Going to go around on the top of it. Here's the magnet. So now I know I've gone around on both sides with WD-40 on it. And then I, not a micro cloth, but just one of my regular shop racks I keep around. I'm going to wipe it down just to get rid of the excess off of it. Here's once. Here's twice. I can actually feel the magnet as it goes around. Earth magnets are really strong, so for their size. Yeah, she looks a lot better. I think on a lot of the new seal chains, what you clean the chain with is your preference. You get a regular clean chainer. I use WD-40. I mean, the important parts are internal and lubricated inside. We're not really going to get to that. Chain lube, I've got Spectro Z chain lube, and I've got DuPont chain saver. I don't really care which one I use. Today I'm going to use the DuPont. The gentleman that I bought the bike from gave me the Spectro. Pick it up, get the ball going. I think this is the most important place with the magnet is I got my magnet here. So now I'm just going to spray the chain down. And you want to lube it, but you don't want to put too much lube on it. There's the magnet. Done all around. You're my TV. Say hi.
What TV?
My camera's running. Oh, you're fine. My sister-in-law is. Wave. Just going to use a dry part of the towel. I'm not really trying to wipe it off. I'm just trying to even it out a little bit. There you go. Clean, lube. Take the magnet off. There it is right there. Put it back in its container with the other magnets that are on there. Every once in a while I find I have decent use for them. That's one of my favorites. I have not cleaned the back tire yet. So anything that I sprayed on it, because it's got a wax base on it, it's going to clean right off when I wipe the tires down later. The wheels. Looks great. Ready for however long I want to go with it. Okay, so I got everything, all the dirt off of it with the Pledge. It looks really nice, but I'm still going to polish up the spokes and the rim itself. Polishes on metal. Let's talk about those. So I have Blue Magic. Blue Magic is really nice. It's a cream. It's more of a chemical reaction than all polishes are abrasive. They're made to clean. So Blue Magic uses more of a chemical compound to do it. I have Meguiar's all metal polish. It's white. If you look at like a buffing compounds for buffing wheels, they come in different grits. White's the finest. So this is basically a grit and it's white. Love that stuff. Never Dull. Never Dull is my favorite for doing the exhaust system. I don't know why, I just like it. It's also got more of a chemical reaction, but it also has abrasives in it. For the spokes, I'm going to use Turtle Wax Premium All Metal Polish. And The only reason I really use this over the others is it's a cream and it's easier to work with. What I do is I take a strip of the t-shirt and I put the polish on one side of it and work it through the spoke, and then I just pull it down and use the clean end of it for shining the spoke back up, so I can do the whole process on each spoke in one step and not have to go in and out all the time. That works really well. One other note about polishes and chrome: if you have any plastics, chrome on your bike, do not use a polish on it. It's going to scratch it. You want to wax it, that's fine. If you want to clean it off with like a multi-purpose cleaner or Windex or something, just don't put a metal polish on it, because all metal polishes are going to cut, and you don't want to cut into the chrome on the plastic. It's usually too thin for that. So I'm going to get to this. One other thing you might notice on here is, you know, some of the upgrades I've done. I've got the chrome ring for the speedo cable. When I got the bike, it had the rubber one on it, which was broke, of course. And that little ring's pretty expensive. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it's like $50, and I fretted over whether I wanted it or not. But it's really the right thing to do the job, so I went ahead and did it. One other thing is we're going up and down on the lift, so I cleaned up and down. From every different angle, you're going to see what you missed and what else needs to be cleaned. You know, go back and touch those areas up. It's like right now, where the forks go through right here, I can see underneath it. Nobody's ever going to see it, but it's just full of bugs and grease and crap. And so I'm going to clean all that up. So I'm going to get this process started. You always want to start someplace where you know you started and ended. You can use the wheel weights. I always use the valve stem. So I'll start here at the valve stem, start working my way around, and get all these spokes polished out. Okay, so front wheels, spokes, been all cleaned up. Used Turtle Wax premium all metal polish on the spokes and the rim, and I like Meguiar's Carnauba Plus wax. I have this in this form, and I also have it in the can, but it's like I said, when I'm working in these types of areas, I just like the creams. Put it on with my fingers, let it set for a few minutes, rubbed it all off. The rim looks great. It's a 10-year-old, well, 12-year-old motorcycle, so it's got some pitting in it from over the years. Got some areas where the chrome's getting kind of light, but you know, by cleaning it all off and getting all the corrosion out of it, and then putting the wax on top of it to protect it, you get a lot more life out of them. So the sooner you start taking care of them, the longer they're going to last you. And I'm real happy with this. Now for the fun part, the back loop. So I finished the cleaning process. It was a chore. She was really filthy. I wanted to do a detail cleaning on her, and I did. She's pretty much showroom ready right now. I didn't really show the waxing process. It's not really hard, wax on, wax off. I waxed everything on the bike. The chrome gets waxed, the tanks get waxed. I use Meguiar products for the finish, so Meguiar's wax, Meguiar's leather cleaner. I got, put it back as a single seat formation. We have a rocket for 2 uprighting, so this is just going to be my fun bike, and she's a beaut. I love her. I'll get some close-up shots of her here in a minute and get this put together. Hope you enjoy the video. Chrome rims are a process. Like I said, I used ripped up pieces of t-shirt to clean the spokes and the rims. Get into the engine area here. Cleaned her all up. Just for fun. Thing online right now has been put screening in the false air filters. I used seam tape, drywall seam tape, just stuck it in there to see if I like it. So, bubble bags, back side of the bike, my Fast Eddie sticker. Most everything on here I've supplied through Fast Eddie's. He's a great guy, does a great job finding the bits and pieces you need for America or a Speedmaster. Hagen shocks. There you go. Have a great day.